Recording in progress.
Okay, so download this scoop. Okay, and this one you extract it and set the scoop home and scoop win path. Okay, so but you have to copy the MySQL connector jar, right? You have to copy in the list folder because we are so MySQL connector jar. We have to download. Here you can download. I think I will give. So this one is downloading the jar. So this jar you can download. So this jar file is basically your MySQL connector jar. So MySQL connector jar, you have to copy this jar into the lib folder in the scoop. First thing is you have to and you have to install the this DigitalOcean site something MySQL you have to install how to install MySQL. This link you have to follow to install MySQL. So it's very pretty straightforward, like you can follow the MySQL server and service, and you can set the password, right? And you can set the privileges, and then you can log in with your username password. So username will default is a root, and whatever password you set it, so you can access with the so so one thing, two things we need, like one is a MySQL installation, and we need scoop installation and MySQL. Okay. And once you have these two, you have to download the MySQL connector jar. So you need first is a scoop 1.2. Scoop to long password. And then it's okay. And, and second thing is install MySQL server. So this is for the um, thing is we have to write a scoop import. So I will talk about what is a scoop basically. So scoop is import export tool to bring the data into Hadoop file system. So generally scoop import command is doing the ingestion of the data. So when we say like data is there in the RDNet database, so it could be using any RDNet database. Any RDNet database could be a MySQL, Oracle, SQL Server, DB2. So any Postgres, so any SQL DBs, like if I want to bring the data into Hadoop file system. So Hadoop file system I can import into Hive tables, I can import the data. Okay. Or I can import the HBase table. So generally HDF underlying data for Hive and HBase also HDFS only. So if I want to load the data in HDFS, then I can load the data in Hive or HBase, or I can directly load the data into Hive table and HBase table from. So I don't need to manually load the data first in Hadoop file system and load the data into Hive. Okay. So this process is called scoop import. Okay. Scoop import command we use. So we have to make a connection, right? Because when we say there is a minus minus connect, minus minus username, right? Username minus minus password. These are the parameters we have to provide, and minus minus table. These all parameters are for MySQL. So here we are taking an example of MySQL, because if we try MySQL and that example is same for any database, okay? Because only thing will change, that will be like your connect URL will change, your username change, your password will change, your table will change. And once you have is sqoop import command, and here you will tell the one more parameter, target directory. Target dir is a directory where you are importing the data to the Hadoop file system directly. You are talking about here Hadoop path. So which Hadoop path you want to get your data, so that you are defining in the Hadoop path, that is the target dir. So there are many more parameters are there. This is a very basic import command. Minimum parameters, we need these parameters, because without these parameters, I can't connect to the RDMS database, and I can't connect to the Hadoop file system. So Hadoop file system, I need a target dir path, and other parameters I need from the MySQL parameter. Okay. So once I run this command on the $shell, I will run this command on the $shell like this. I will run this command, and this command, if you have multi-line command, so you can use the slash like this for multi-line, like you can write. Otherwise, if you have to write in same, you can write this. So you have to provide the value here. Here is a connect URL value will come. So I will show you what is it's a JDBC URL is there, that will come here. Username is some root user is here, and password is like a password is a password. So this is the password. Table is like suppose EMP table is there, so EMP table, and target dir is my Hadoop. So like this, I can run my sqoop. So sqoop is completely, there are major type of utilities are there, import or export. Okay. Either do the import or export, but mostly we do the import, because sometimes export means like something data you have already in your Hadoop file system, and you want to import, export to as a table in MySQL. Okay. So data in SDFS as a file, data in SDFS as file, and these files are comma delimited. So even for the data is coming in import, the data will come as a comma delimited. Suppose in my table, like my EMP table is there, and this EMP table I have a field, EMP ID, name, city. When it will come in Hadoop file system, so it will come the table as the same, like as a file, and file also have the comma delimiter. Okay. So here I'm just showing is the comma, but actual table is the tabular table, right? But in SDFS, when you open the file, okay, so you will see the data like this, comma delimited, and the same data will come in the file. So, but we cannot do more customization in the sqoop. Sqoop is just import and export, right? Like more manipulation part we cannot do, because it's not providing any programming language here, right? So you can do. But Spark is also ingestion tool. So Spark is also ingestion tool, but Spark is having more features like Spark ingestion. Spark is acting as an ingestion tool. So it will read the data from, it will read data from MySQL as data frame. Okay. And then we can transform data, manipulate data, validation we can do, manipulate it, and then finally write data into SDFS. So here, this is the same process, right? If I say, but here is more customization is there, because here we are writing Spark is using Python. So we are writing everything as a code, and here we are not writing as a code. We are just writing a command. So here the difference is sqoop we are writing a command, and Spark we are writing as a programming, like we are writing a code like ETL code. Okay, but here is more flexibility in Spark. Okay? So Spark is not only ingestion. Spark is an analytics ingestion tool. So Spark but doesn't have the storage. Even the sqoop is not having storage. So sqoop is just transferring the data. Spark is transferring the data like from one source to another target is writing. But after the transformations, validations, everything I can do in the Spark. Okay. So sqoop is having limited features because it's not that much powerful like a Spark can do because of there is no programming interfaces there. It is just import, read data from one end and write data to other end. That's it. So like whatever sqoop import you will see in entire sqoop, you will see we have more parameters for different purpose, but basic import command is like this only. Okay. There are many more utilities also there in the sqoop. Like one I will tell about sqoop job. Sqoop job, how to create our reusable sqoop import command. Okay. So reusable sqoop import command. So one sqoop import command you write like a job and you can use multiple times. So like use multiple times, same job. So here, but here you are writing every time the same sqoop import command you are copy pasting, right? So it means here like multiple of words, right? Same command multiple times. But here you write once and use it multiple times, like with the sqoop job utility. Another one is a sqoop list databases. So it will tell you what are the databases are there. These are not sqoop import. So sqoop import is a one utility. Sqoop job is another utility in sqoop. Sqoop list databases, sqoop list tables, and one more sqoop import all table. Import all table, like all the tables I want to, because sqoop is doing one table at a time. Only sqoop import command. But sqoop has a feature. If you want to do multiple table at the same time, you can do sqoop import also. Okay, sqoop is having a dependency on the Hadoop. So once your Hadoop service is running, then only you can run the sqoop, because sqoop is using MapReduce job. Sqoop is using MapReduce job in the backend. Okay. So whenever you run the sqoop, right, import, it is running. So, but sqoop is not completely MapReduce. Sqoop is a mapper job. Why it is called the mapper job? Because mostly we are doing selecting data. We are not doing any manipulation, right? But sometimes when you are not doing any aggregation. Aggregation, you understand, like group by query, we are not using. Okay. So if you are doing simple select query. So simple select query, it's a mapper job. So there will be no reducer. But sqoop map reduce job when you are using aggregation. You are using aggregation. But you are saying like I'm writing a table here. I'm giving a table. The table, how can I write the aggregation? So sqoop has the one feature, right? Sqoop, like when you say sqoop import, there is a minus query option. So you can write in double quote, you can write a select query. So here, whatever query you want to write, is like I say, department wise count of employee level. So I will say department and count of employee I want as employee count, and then I say from EMP group by I say department. So this query will be giving you the aggregation, right? Like department wise, every department, how many employees are there? I want to get the count. So this query is the map reducer, because I told this is not a simple select query. Right? This is a select query, but aggregation select query. Okay? So here sqoop import minus query. So instead of using table, you will use minus query. But you will use other parameter also, because these parameters are used for connecting your sqoop with the database, right? MySQL database, and fetch the data. Okay, I will show one by one all this one. Okay, first we start from the basic fundamentals one, right? How to write our basic sqoop input command. Anyone has any question? Any basic thing, thing why we are going to use sqoop and uh, what sqoop exactly does? If you understand like what are the key feature of the sqoop, right? It's an import and export tool, right? Importing data, exporting data.
Yeah, Arvind, can we use Hive tables as source?
Hive table, right? See, Hive is already there in the SDFS. So what is the point of using Hive, right? Because
Oh,
we are bringing data from outside world, right? Hadoop world, right? Because Hadoop is Hive is already there in the Hadoop, right? Okay,
okay,
so why it is already on Hadoop file system? That's the reason we don't use Hive. And we are talking about here a relational database, right? Some databases like which like not part of the Hadoop file system because the data is not stored in the Hadoop file system for this relational details, right? Okay, because
okay,
relational are on some other machines like some remote machines, right? Okay, so that is the reason we are bringing it. Hive is no point because Hive we are bringing data from the MySQL or some RDBMS database. Sometimes I have to do very quick ingestion, right? Like I say, see, I told you the Spark is there in the another way of ingestion, but I need to do a complete setup of the Spark, right? I have to install Spark, I have to write a code in the editor, right? I need a code development editor. Then I have to deployment the job, right? It's same like a map reduce. You know, if any small thing you are writing in the map reduce, you have to write the entire program. You have already seen the code of map reduce, right? So similar effort is there. You have to job submit and then you have to monitor the job. There's some dependency there, right? Complete server dependency, right? We have to deployment, we have to do. Okay, but sqoop is a just simple import command will bring the data in your Hadoop file system. So it matters, right? Like okay, you need some transformation things you want to do, then sqoop is not a choice. If you don't want like any transformation, just you want to pull and push, right? You have to get the data and write the data. That's nowadays the scoop is being less used, right? Because most of the times we are bringing data not just like as it is data. We want get the data as a transform data. So we use a Spark and transform immediately once we are reading the data from the data frame from the database and then do the transformation and write the data to the target, right? If the target mostly a Hadoop file system, or even I can write the data back to the any other same SQL database I can write in another database. Okay, so first of all, like scoop parameters I show you. Okay, so whenever you configure your scoop, you will see scoop hyphen version. We can see 1.4.7. This is the version which one. Okay, so this is a scoop version, and dash RC you have to configure dash RC. So you have to set a scoop home and a scoop. sqoop home path. So wherever my sqoop is, I copy right in the my software folder and set the path and this sqoop path, and then after that you do the source command. Otherwise, your changes will not be saved. So control shift and if I don't want to save. Okay, and now you can start the sqoop import command. So sqoop import and sqoop import is a starting clause, and after that you have to give the parameters. Okay, so because it's not a complete command, right? Just I show like sqoop import is saying not command not found. Okay, so it means a sqoop it. Another one more important thing is that you have to copy the MySQL connector. You can download the jar and copy in the sqoop lib code. Okay. So now, if you want to start any sqoop import, okay, I show you right how to use the sqoop import command. This this all same document I will share to you. And first thing is like we should need a data in the MySQL. Okay, so we start the MySQL, another terminal I open so that I can check my data, what data is there and what data I'm inputting. So MySQL minus u root minus t, and then I will give my password. So set up this. Anybody gets a problem in MySQL, let me know. And here use I already created database sqoop. Okay, so use sqoop and code tables. So like I have created one EMP table. So select start from. You will create a new database, so there will be no table. So you create a. Just our tool with path. Okay. So suppose this data ID name 8, I want to bring it to the Hadoop file system. Okay. So this is already I have given everything that command, all command I give you to just run the command. So first we starting very basic import command, okay, sqoop import, minus minus connect I told. So JDBC colon MySQL by default port of the MySQL is 3306 and my database name. I'm using a database is sqoop 2. And why I'm using use SSL false, if I don't use it, it will give me the handshake error from SSL exception. Okay, I show you, then you can know right how to use this use SSL. Okay, and username is root and password is password. This password is visible, right? But we can use one option file, and that option file path I can give. There, my password is stored as an encrypted or like I can keep it. So I don't need to give the complete I cannot. I don't need to give the hard-coded password. Okay, but I'm showing you first the use cases. Okay, and minus minus table EMP and target dir. So this target dir, I'm going to create some directory. Okay, so you know, right? You already remember, right? The last directory should be the new directory. Otherwise, you will get the error, right? That directory already exists. Okay, so always give the new path. And another thing is when you are using is to import. So this minus m parameter is basically your number of mappers. How many mappers you want to use to import your data. So if you are saying, okay, minus m1, so by default, it will use the one mapper. But this mapper is basically making your sqoop import parallel also. If you give it, by default is a 4. Default 4 means like if you don't pass minus n1. So by default 4 mapper it uses. So 4 mapper means it will bring the 4 output file. Okay. Like if you have 100 record. Okay. So 25 record will be divided into the 4 output file, and all output file name is part m file. Part m, you know, right? Mapper file output always part m, and when the reducer output file comes, that is a part r. So here is minus m1, so only one output file will come, and this minus m is used for the increasing the number of record processing is the faster. Okay, because you can change it. Let me run this one first. Okay, so this one is, I'm just copying it, and I'm using a slash for the, if my sqoop import command, like parameters are in the new line. Okay, so where I have to run it, I have to run in $shell. So I change it. My database name is a sqoop2. See, this is a SSL exception. I was saying to you, if you don't use SSL false, so you will get this exception. This exception will not give any problem. Your sqoop import still will be done, but you will get this weird exception. You will get this exception is like this is true. But if you use SSL except parameter, use SSL parameter, you will not get this step. So use always this. So what is my target here? Here my output file will come. Okay. In this particular path, my output file will come. So once my sqoop import is completed, it is still map 0, reduce 0. Map 100, what is that? Map 100, reduce 0. So I already told, right, this is a mapper job, right? Because we are using simple select. So that is the reason reduce is still 0, reduce starting also 0, and ending of the reduce also 0, right? The reduce is not increase. Okay. So when you see here like map is divided into the 33%, then it means it's a number of mappers, right? Your number of mappers means number of multiple files your data is processing. Okay. But here is only 0 to 100, so only one mapper because we have given. So retrieve 2 record. Okay, now we check the directory, we verify the data. Hadoop fs minus ls. This is my Hadoop target behavior. So here is part m file is created. Can you see? So this is the same terminology like success file is created. Because I told you map reduce you learn, you can understand how the other component is working. Because every component in Hadoop is using internally map reduce in the backend. Okay, but it's a processing. After the processing, the final output is coming the same, right? Whether you write your custom map reduce code or you are using some other like tool you are using in the Hadoop. So this is my output file. Okay, I can see the content of this file. Hadoop. The two record comma delimited fields will be there. The two record same like is there. Whatever is the same here, same is here, right? Okay. So header is not coming. The header will not come. It is importing only data. It is not importing this header. Okay. So header is not coming, but header you can customize it. But in the SQL query you can do that. Okay. When we'll write minus minus query parameter, there you can write aliases, right? So then the header will. Okay. So right now, okay. A very basic import command between their sqoop. Now, suppose I want like every time I have to delete this target dir, right? I don't want to delete my target dir or I don't need to give new one. So there is an option minus minus delete target DL. When you use this option, so first of all, I'm using a sqoop tool, and my last one folder is workshop 3. So if I'm using workshop 3 sqoop 1 2, I'm not changing my target DIR. I'm keeping it same, but I'm using this parameter. So this parameter will delete my existing target DIR and create a new one. I don't need to create manually. And one more thing I'm doing here, field dominated by dollar. So by default, I showed you the comma thing, right? But now this time, if you want dollar or you want pi, any symbol, whatever symbol you give, or pound symbol, I'm just telling example, any symbol you give, that symbol will come between your fields. Okay. Now I'm running this Google input, and the use SSL I'm using, so it will not give that SSL exception. So the commands are pretty easy. You have to just take it command, run it. If you will not get any issue, right? Because this is straightforward command, and but just you have the setup ready, right? So again, two records, because number of record will not change. If I look at the same file, because this is the same, right? Directory is the same, right? But this time you will get the hash. This time you will get hash. This time you will get hash. Okay. And one more thing I did, delete target dir. So delete target dir is my deleting the directory. If I don't use the delete target dir, what will happen? If I don't use this, then what will happen? If I'm not changing here the path, what will happen? Can anyone tell what happened, right? Generally, what happened in the map piece? Okay, I'm asking to you. If I'm running a map piece job, and if I don't change my output directly, what happens there? Any exception in this?
It goes to root.
What is this? What is See, if the target layer already there, this will give the already exist, right? You have seen this error many times, right? The directory is already exist, right? Because the Hadoop is a thumb rule. We cannot use the same directory again, right? The outer directory, especially this outer directory, last directory, we cannot use it again. Okay. So this is the option which is overcome. If I don't use it, I have to change this directory name. Okay. Otherwise, you get the error. You will not get released. Because first thing, before running this sqoop import command, it verifies your directory first. If your directory is found the same, it will not run your sqoop import and it will give you the error. That's equally. Now this time, remember this error, right? Because see something you have done, see whatever you done doing the MapReduce, that's the reason I taught MapReduce, right? Because I wanted to show you, right? MapReduce will not use in the real time, but will get the similar things, will get the problems, right? Whatever. You see, output directly already exists. The same error I was seeing. Okay. So this error will come. Now, another thing is, suppose in the table you are using table column, right? I say I don't want 3 columns. I don't want all columns. I want only ID and name. Okay, so I can specify column here. Okay, column keyword, and then I can specify column. If I say I don't want to all the records, I want only the data of only specific data. So there is minus minus where to also go where, and then you can send the ID is greater than 1. So what will happen? Only only one ID will come, right? ID 2. So because there are the two IDs recorded there, ID 1, ID 2. So when I say ID greater than 1, so this is also one filter. This is kind of where clause is like a filter. Filter on the column, filter on the data. This is filter on the data, where clause, and filter on the column means predicates, right? You know, right? Predicates is there in the like a pixel, right? We can specify how many number of columns I want. So I can use minus minus column, minus minus where clause I can use. Okay. So this way I can do the filter. Whatever we are using delete target area, that will do the same job. Okay. Still it will give the error because the problem is whatever this code and everything is coming in copy paste, it will give that. And this always now it is too high. Okay. Always remember. Okay. If you are able to see in your document is the one hyphen is coming, that is not taking properly. Okay. So you have to correct it in the query. And the second thing is like in the where I when I write where one hyphen, it was two hyphen, it was taking only it's concatenated as a type. So where and this double quote is the formula. Okay. Always use rewrite the double quote. Okay. Now everything is fine. Okay. So it's saying you error passing argument. That is the type code, right? Whatever is your copy pasting from the document, right? So it will be problem. Okay. So what is the difference you will see here in output? Here is what is the condition I given? I given looking page is greater than one. And you can tell here is a something like photo. What is it? Okay. What is the database name I'm using? Check in my system. What is the database name? What is the database name? In the left side, this MySQL. What is the database name?
Scoop 2.
And what is the database name in my command?
Scoop.
What is the database? So it's the this is sqoop database you see in the MySQL. There is the EMP table, no data, right? So that is the reason we haven't got the data, right? So we have to change accordingly. Have to make it. Sometimes like we are thinking everything is correct, condition is correct, right? But this kind of issue is not easy to recognize, right? So first thing is check the each and every like condition values, right? Because sometimes our value is not correct, right? And I'm not deleting directly because I know you will delete target user. Get one record now, and that ID record will be two, not one. Okay, because one will be filtered out, and only two columns will come. Right. So, right. So if we see here, we have a doing different thing. So finding is okay. So dollar is a termination character, right? So here in my command, dollar is there. So dollar is there. That is the reason dollar is coming. Dollar ID. So whatever you will give, as it is will come. Okay, so it is nothing different. Okay, so whatever you give, you will get. Okay, and minus n parameter you can increase. I'm using now n111, right? N1 I'm using. But suppose I want to uh, change the behavior, right? I want to make it okay minus n, or one more parameter is there num mapper. So anyone you can use, it will be always written at the end. Okay, so you want to change this parameter to minus n to 2. So you should add one more column, split by column. And this split by column is the column which has some unique ID value. So in this our scenario, which column we can use the split by column? We can use ID column. The ID column we have the ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So this ID column will be splitted based on your number of mappers. Suppose your number of mapper 2, and right now how many record are there? 2. So how many record will go to the each file? 1, 1, right? 1 record will go, correct? If I have suppose 10 records and I'm giving minus M2, how many record will go? How many record will go? If I have a 10 record and I'm giving minus M2, record will go. It's a simple calculation, right? 5 record will go, right? So 10 record are there and minus M2 I'm doing. So 10, 5 record will go. But our this scenario, only 2 are there and I'm using M2. So 1 record will be distributed. Split by me distributing based on the ID. And how many files will create? 2 files will be created. One for one record and one for one record. Suppose 3 records are there. You can have the system, right? Maybe I don't have the 2 record, I have a 3 record. So in one file it will take 2 and one file it will one record. Okay, so this is for improving the performance, right? How parallelly data can be. Okay, again we have done the same problem because we are in the same database. Other command we will see tomorrow, like some more commands in the job, to other utilities. Okay, and then we can see tomorrow like a Hive import, how to import the data into Hive. Okay. So 2 more sessions are required in the queue. So if you start and any issue comes, so let me know. Okay. The YouTube channel, you can see other videos also, right? If you get difficulty, you want to understand, you can see other batches and you can check like something is like see 2 records coming and but it will be coming in 2 files. So what is my directory? My directory is 2.3. one tree. So one tree directory, I have one file is part and 000, this is the one record, and another file is part and 000. That is the technical. Okay, you got it right? One record, into file. Okay, so just I will upload this document. So at least you can start tomorrow. I will show minus minus query also. How can we write our custom query? Right? Suppose I want to more specific my query based result I want to import. I can write minus minus query. Thanks everyone.